before the horn. Here, not so much. Still 0-0. Maybe I'm a little bit disappointed, but we'll see. They get a pause from Vice and Bob saying he needs a second.
Bobby needs a second, you know, needs a bit more time. They had some connection issues. If I remember correctly, they disconnected a couple of times during their previous series.
Yeah,
One thing I'm worried about is Vice does not have a front. You're playing into Mars, you're playing into Lycan. Like, who's gonna tank the damage? Like Storm Spirit plus Nature's Prophet, it's a good combo with the Keeper of the Light. You have this like global presence, recall, hook shot from far away. This is what their lineup is really good at. But TNC's lineup is like, we're just gonna group around Lycan and try to take some towers. Also, the double save core. This is something I really like. You have Oracle, you have a Snowball. They're very hard to take down. But to be more positive about Vice's lineup, Storm Spirit should have a free game. There's one root mechanic until like Void Spirit gets his Yule Scepter. Then it's a guaranteed lockdown into Remnant. Other than that, it's tough to execute. So whenever Bob has mana, he should be okay and dodge those spells.
Yeah, the difference in fights from what I'm seeing is like TNC can take a longer fight. They've got the arena. They have that frontliner where Vice want to be in, then they want to be quickly out. They want to set off pickoffs with the Nature's Prophet, with the Storm. You know, get that communication going, zip in, find a kill, get out, and don't stay too long for the Mars to turn in. Because they, like you said, they don't have that frontliner. Clockwerk maybe wants to run in and be that guy who tanks or soaks the damage.
Can itemize to be the frontliner, possibly get a mech, maybe get the Crimson Guard. He's one of the more like flexible offlaners where he can build a lot of different items. Same as I'd say Venomancer, where whatever you build on the hero, it feels good.
We'll have to see how quickly of a start Vice can get with both their Storm as well as their Nature's Prophet. Their control is not amazing on Vice. This Vortex, hookshot into Cogs, Sprout, you know, kinda have like
things to keep you in place. Cogs,
for like
Sprout,
a second,
and then you throw possibly a smoke screen on top of that.
Yeah. But where, you know, whereas TNC, they can start with like Fortune's End, go through with the Snowball, you know, put you up in the air for a second with Walrus Punch, Aether Revenant, Spear, you know, keep the team fight close with Arena. A lot more options for TNC in terms of controlling someone, and that seems a little bit rough for Vice, especially when you're going up against the Lycan, right?
Yeah, TNC's lineup just feels, you know, what they want to do. It feels easy to execute Dota. We're gonna wait until Lycan gets his Necro Book, start pushing their towers. Pretty simple stuff. While Vice, they need to play like really good to be able to just get out of the laning stage even, I would say.
And already a lot of harassment on the clock. You see Bob at about half health down towards top though. Zenki finds himself in a bit of a bad position. Shards are there from Tim. They've also got the damage from kpii on this Mars. First blood going the way of TNC. And Bob also getting really low.
Bobby needs to be careful. Like this matchup, I'm still favoring Storm Spirit 55-45. Because, you know, you're playing range into melee. No points in Remnant yet on the Void Spirit. I see a lot of different builds on Void Spirit. Maybe on level 5 you get that 1 point to possibly secure the room. Have a kill potentially if he decides to dive underneath the tower. Bottom lane, a lot of pressure. This is something that Oracle struggles against. Like Nature's Prophet as the off lane. Something that Undying struggles against, where like you can't do what you usually do, just completely zone him out like Fortune's and use Purifying Flames to deal damage, because you can't deal with the Treants. You have no ability that can just deal with AoE.
So Oracle taking a lot of harassment, but already TNC up 1,000 net worth, and you can see Bob's just getting heavily out CS. 7 right now. Was
It's
a lot
7,
more before.
Plus there's 4 creeps coming underneath the tower for Armel.
Dire structures are
So
fortified.
Void Spirit already having a pretty decent lane. Where does this start off for Vice? Like, when is the moment where they need to start being aggressive?
I think the main point for Vice is enable Riki in this game, give him time to farm that Battle Fury, get that Aghanim Scepter. This is the way he deals with the Lycan, with the summons, and becomes scary as a hero. I'm just not sure if they have enough time. Like TNC's lineup is very fast. This Lycan still finds way pretty much every single time in the meta to be useful. He's level 4.5 on Lycan. Would love to see a bit more levels. So Febby needs to either like pull or just stay out of the XP range.
You see if Febby ends up moving. Palos, he's doing well up top, but Armel gets that kill onto Bob. And that's a solo kill onto Bob. No help needed for that kill over mid, and that's going to be a big advantage for the Void Spirit.
And that was also Storm Spirit with the Arcane.
Shards up top.
Now Armel is level 7. Storm is 5 only. Wow, that's where the difference comes from.
Yeah. Already a massive difference in TNC, just pushing that net worth lead to 2K ahead. We've seen this before, though, with a couple of teams. They get up like 3 or 4K to start the game, and the other team kind of works it, or they can bring it back to even with a couple good fights. We'll see if they're able to accomplish that. Armel gets away with the Astro Step. They've got a Clockwerk coming over, but he's only level 3. Now they've got the Ball of Lightning. They're coming in on the Tims, though. He's got the tag team, as well as the Snowball. Pulls in the Void Spirit, goes after the Storm. Bob trying to get a kill, but there's the Dissimilar, which is avoided with the Ball of Lightning. Finally, they finish off Armel. They've got the Sprout around Tims with a rotation from Enryu. And they won't be able to get the save from the Oracle. 2 dead on TNC. Good movement from Vice.
You can see Vice powered the power of their lineup, where they outnumbered the opponent. Nature's Prophet with TP, you need to be very careful right now, because Nature's Prophet has that ulti ready. No mana for it, however, but you know, it deals like 700 damage on the last bounce. So it's time for them to start playing a bit more aggressive on the lane. Riki's doing a very good job, you know. He has 36 CS, 13 denies, just got level 6, so it's very hard for Mars to lane, because if you have like one rotation or Nature's Prophet ulti, you might be in trouble.
And now Enryu is level 6, does have that ult available, has the Blightstone early, nothing queued up just yet. I'm wondering if he wants to go for Orchid or Deso first, as he does have that Blightstone. See what he ends up queuing up at the end of the day, but for right now, shards come through. He sprouts around himself, trying to leave for the Fortune Zen. He's rooted up and killed off by Febby. That's the ulti used by this Lycan, so Gabbi hoping to get that kill onto the courier.
Off lane. You know,
Get the kill on
just what I
KP.
said, Riki hits level 6. Even 2-man rotation, not sure that's needed. One hero would be more than enough. Are there any stacks in the jungle? There are a couple. So this is something that Keeper of the Light is very good at, and it allows Storm Spirit to come back into the game. Riki still can't farm it before he gets the Battle Fury, but a lot of stack camps. Keeper of the Light can farm it by himself, but you still want to give it to the Storm Spirit, most likely.
Do you like this build from the Riki, just going into the Battle Fury? We've seen a couple Rikis skip it, but
we've seen some mid Rikis skipping it, where you have another carry. I believe it was Riki plus a morph in one of the Chinese games.
I think it was that, and it ended up being that mid Riki. But here going into the Battle Fury, and then we see the Storm, who will start to take these stacks. So Bob, who had Armel coming in and kills off Zenki. Now looking over this Clockwerk, they've got KP nearby. To keep him safe, KP has to walk away.
They knew something was up. Vice planted a Sentry Ward, but it was a bit too late.
Dire's structures
If there's no Lycan, their tower damage outside of TNC is very limited, so they need to play with the catapults. Right now, I see 3 heroes on a mid lane.
Radiant's top tower
It's just not enough pressure. There's a Keeper of the Light who can just solo stop this push. Let's see the Storm Spirit.
Ball Lightning all the way in for the Mars. Riki's also joined him. Tricks of the trade. A quick kill on the Mars to draw a lot of heroes over, but meanwhile, they're looking for Enryu. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. Again, Purifying Flames, the finishing blow to take out this. Offlaners not enjoying their time right now.
Yeah, both of the offlaners kind of struggling to find anything in this game besides some CS not being very active. I still don't think we're seeing even one Breath of Nature being used.
No, I don't think so.
Like,
Dire's
he had
bottom
level 6,
tower
7
is under
minutes in.
attack.
He'll probably try to find some openings. Clockwerk buying the tome for himself. That will get him to level 6.
Bounty.
And keeper of the light. They're scouting enemy
Radiant's top
stack,
tower
trying to
is
take
under
it to the
attack.
triangle.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We'll work on it. Bob also helping out. He's going into the Kaya first. He has a double damage bottled up. They put in that deep ward on the triangle to try and spot these heroes from TNC if they are to come over. Smoke used by
Radiant's top
TNC,
tower
but
is under
Vice are holding
attack.
the smoke break. Tims comes up, shards are placed, but they've got the Vortex and a lot of damage on the Tims immediately with that double damage. He's going to stay alive a little bit longer with Snowball. Ball lightning into the cogs as well as Illuminate coming through. They get the kill on Febby as well as Tims. They'll look over the Void Spirit, hit with the blinding light. Armel ends up dead. Freedom coming inside of TNC. There's the arena on top of all these heroes on Vice except for the Clockwerk. They get the kill on Zenki, take out Enryu again. Bob on the run, out of mana and gone. Triple kill for Gabbi. KP getting low. Riki trying to do all he can, but Palos wants to leave.
Gabbi with the
back
ultra
in.
kill. Is he thinking about going in? Ooh. Man, this was
A bloodbath.
Lycan joins after 3 heroes are dead. This is when he uses the shapeshift and still gets the 4 kills. So, you know, just shows how balanced of a hero Lycan is.
Now let's take a look at it again. They lost these heroes pretty quickly on the end of the fight. And Lycan at this point is still sitting mid. And now he starts to come over. He uses that ult. This is the point where he makes his way in. Armel's already gone. KP with the arena, which was massive. Kept these heroes close to this Lycan. Vortex wasn't enough control. Bob, no mana to leave. He ends up dead. If they got the kill on a KP, it feels a lot better for Vice, but tricks of the trade. Going in deep. Ball lightning with Vortex again, and yeah, they don't have the false promise, but the snowball save once again. Hook shot misses.
Is under attack.
Ooh, a big sloppy on the hook shot. Palos now, he's committed to this. So is Enryu, who TP's into his death. He came all the way through and immediately dies. That is a bit of bad positioning and maybe over-aggression from the Nature's Prophet. There are moments from Vice where it looks like it's coming together, and then it falls apart. Like, if that hook shot hits, I think that fight goes better. Positioning from Enryu is a little bit rough as he just gets lit up.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Close qualifiers. You can see the stage goes well.
Dire's structures
What the job is,
fortified.
what they do, how they need to play the lane, how they need to play the matchups.
Radiant's
But
bottom
after
tower
that,
is under attack.
they take the
Dire are
fight that
scanning.
they don't need to take.
Radiant structures
I like
are
that he actually
fortified.
decided to go for mech
Radiant's
on
top
Nature's
tower
Prophet
is under
instead
attack.
of that Orchid I talked about at the start of this game. Build multiple items, mech, I suppose like a Crimson, maybe even a Lion.
Bob in trouble, Snowball in, Ether Remnant, Ball Lightning, trying to get some distance. They still have another Astral Step. Zenki's here to try and help. So with that mana, give Bob an opportunity to leave. So TNC, they can't keep up. It's like it is so far.
I would still love to see Orchid being built on either Storm
Dire's
Spirit
top
or
tower is
Nature's
under
Prophet.
attack. Dire's top tower has
Storm
fallen.
is going straight into Bloodstone.
That
You know,
Kaya
you want to
finished.
have that lockdown against the snowball save, find Oracle, just kill him. But Febby is doing such a great job. His positioning really good in this game. Got himself level 6 in the Ghost Scepter.
Lead has that Ghost Scepter already. Like, it just feels like TNC, they're about an item ahead. And Oracle trying to survive as much as possible now that he's hit that 6. I know in the recent fights we
Radiant's
haven't
middle
seen
tower is
that
under
false
attack.
promise because he wasn't there just yet. And that can kind of just change the tides of these fights where TNC, maybe they're losing 3 heroes. False promise saves potentially Void Spirit of the Mars. It's
Dire's
getting
structures are
chunked
fortified.
apart in these exchanges.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Prophet trying to do
Radiant's
what
bottom
he does
tower
best,
is under
push some
attack.
towers, but definitely need help. And suddenly
Over here now.
cleaning up these creeps, trying to get the tier 1, but behind them is a smoked up TNC. And you can tell that they're trying to make something happen. Oh, Bob backed off. Orchid. And there's the reveal on the Orchid, and that should be a kill onto the Storm. Gabbi gets a kill, moves for more, blinding light, but the damage on the Zenki, not enough. They'll find Enryu again. And they've also got the arena down around this Clockwerk, making it a third.
So far, so good from TNC. Gabbi, man, he is super farmed. He's staying 3,000 ahead of the enemy safe laner. Full Orchid. Necrobook 3 going into AC. They still didn't kill the Roche. Next time they get to a fight close to the Roshan pit, they'll probably just go in and try to take it. How's Riki doing? Battle Fury complete on top of power threats, 15 minutes in. Not too bad, you know. Still good timing on the Riki considering how this game has developed for them.
He's kind of stepped back from how aggressive he was playing too, because he was fighting with the team a lot more, and now I think he's more committed to at least trying to farm and get towards that Axe.
What Riki probably said, guys, keep them busy for the next 10 minutes if possible, don't lose too much, then I'll try to take over.
Is it too much already though, 5k? Or is it still doable to be this far behind?
It's a lot. It really is. And they still didn't take the Roche. There's no defensive items. That Orchid from Lycan is going to cause a lot of issues because no one has a Yule Scepter. BKBs are not even close. So whoever gets that on himself is pretty much dead.
Yeah, going to be tough, and Lycan already going towards the AC.
Interesting build by Tims. Falcon Blade, I find that item very, very good at the moment, usable by a lot of heroes. You know, it gives you a bit of health, some mana regen, damage, exactly what the Tusk needs.
I think that's the first Falcon Blade we've seen on Tusk between the two regions we've been covering. So certainly a different outlook on this hero with that item. Because we've seen a lot of Tusks go like Blink Dagger as well, depending on their game, if they want to jump in there, get a Walrus Punch, Shards, blocking a hero. So certainly a little bit different from Tims up to this point compared to other Tusks.
Is under attack.
I like this early Ghost Scepter from Febby too.
It was a really, really fast Ghost Scepter. Like he had it 13 minutes in, which is pretty impressive for a position 5.
And Riki buying out on that Blade of Alacrity. I guess the question is, does he commit to the Ags or look for something else?
Ags is a must-have. Against Lycan, the summons, 2 hits, pocket Riki. It's just too good.
Going up top, Tim spotted Vortex. Palos is here. He's got the silence, looking for the kill. Gets at least one. Now they'll look for a second. Astro step back into the silence. But KP's coming in. Crew hook shot. That's going to stop him from getting the arena down around these heroes. However, Samael is the one to the front lines at the moment. Enryu comes over
from behind.
That could be a problem with Lycan making the shift all the way around. They got KP, but can they get away? They've got the silence onto the Riki, and the damage is there. Palos just melts. So does this Clockwerk. Gabbi comes all the way out and around for a double kill.
Tim's bought back in that fight. Not too much value out of that buyback. But Lycan's still a huge issue. We can see that power of Orchid on Lycan, which I really like this game. Like, just for the more control. You're playing against Riki, you're playing against the Storm Spirit. There are no defensive items on that game, causing a lot of issues with that one.
Watch this again as Lycan's making that long run all the way over while this fight's going on. They don't have the damage to take out Armel through the false promise. He survives, and then ball lightning in pretty far to get KP, but here comes Gabbi. And that Orchid has been such a problem.
Seems like the fight is just over. Godlike so far, 0 deaths on him. Pretty impressive showing from Gabbi in this game.
9-0-2.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Walrus Punch.
There it goes.
They've got Palos, they've got Bob, 2 gods. 1-2 already out of this. They'll chase down the Clockwerk. One shot from dead. The Illuminate flies forward, but it's not going to do anything. So Zenki and Enryu, they can only hope that they live their lives a little bit longer because it's inevitable that they're all dead. Triple kill for Armel, and Gabbi now godlike.
I am the Alpha Wolf, he says. That fight was even without shapeshift, so
Dire's top tower is under
4
attack.
bounty runes. Let's see if
Dire's
Pims
structures
decides
are
to pick those one up. Could be a bit tricky if someone respawns. There's still tier 2 towers. He's being pinged out. Pims is on a mission.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Rocket scouting him out.
Ooh.
Like they want him. They want him real
They
bad.
want something. I don't know if they're quick enough. Lightning, and yeah, there it is. They got the bounty runes, that's
Pims is
fine.
like, yeah, I've done my job. You know, use the buyback in that previous fight. So this is gonna be a full minute without him. But at least he picked up the bounties. Now 10k gold lead for TNC.
And after a fight like this, where it's just a full team wipe, I think you're okay with that. That buyback timer out of the way.
Smoke, even without the Tusk, they want to take the fight. Full AC
Dire
done on
are
Lycan.
scanning.
14,000 net worth. 6k ahead of this Riki already. They've been able to deal with Palos up to this point.
Is under
They're
attack.
going down towards bottom astral step. There's a second one. Ball
Orchid.
lightning. There's the Orchid. They've slowed him down with the Necro Creeps, and they'll get the kill on a Bob. What was once a game that looked decent for Bob has now turned a bit on its head. He's 5-5-5.
When I think of the name Bob, you know, I always think of some sad guy, some sad old guy. I don't know why. Maybe I watched too many drama movies where Bob is always the same character. But I like how TNC is covering like the area. It actually
Dire's
misses
middle
the
tower
remnant.
is under attack.
They've got the spear, the astral step with the dissimulate.
Even the arena.
I don't know
Bit
if
of
that was
an
necessary.
overkill. I'm not sure that was needed. I think it's time to get inside the Roche pit. There's also a Desolator on Void Spirit. So yeah, this one's moving
Radiant's
down
bottom
pretty
tower
quick.
is under attack.
Minus 10 armor on Roshan. He just melts. They can't do anything about it. And the buildings are also gonna melt once they start hitting. This is their peak timing for TNC. Go in, try to take another fight. Still 2 tier 2 towers standing, and possibly try to go in and end the game. Might be a bit tricky, you know, Strong Grid, Keeper of the Light, a lot of mana replenish, the blast. But you want to build the advantage.
Radiant's
Riki
bottom tower is
getting
under
close
attack.
to that Aghanim Scepter
Radiant
still feels
structures
very
are
vulnerable with just one Orchid, one setup with a Remnant. Because there is no counterplay. Wise
Radiant's
Esports does not
bottom
have
tower
any
is under
defensive
attack.
capabilities, unlike TNC, who has two.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Smoke coming through the dire triangle. Bob nearby again has just not been able to deal with this Orchid at all.
Samael,
They'll find the Clockwerk. Unfortunately, walks up the stairs right into a TNC team and immediately killed off Walrus
Radiant's
Punch coming
bottom
through with the
tower
damage
is
from
under
Gabbi and
attack.
that Orchid, who's going into the Bloodthorn. So he's almost got that Bloodthorn and the Basher.
Dire's
He's
middle
already
tower
doing a lot
is
of
under
damage,
attack.
already making this game very difficult for Vice. And like you said, they ripped through the Roche, and now they'll rip through the towers.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Lacoste, it's not looking good for Vice.
it really is not.
Really?
I said 23, 25-minute game. Boys,
Radiant's
yeah,
courier
you
has
need
been
to speed
killed.
up. You know, you
Radiant's
have
bottom
that
tower
minute,
is
double
under
damage
attack.
spawned. It's time to end this one.
You're looking for the double correct prediction, not only the team, but the time.
And sometimes you have to go all in. So Bloodthorn done. Level 18 Lycan. 95-second cooldown on that ulti. So wants to keep fighting.
They find Zenki again.
They want more.
Astral
Oh,
Slip with the
Yule
ace.
Scepter. He had enough
Really?
to actually use the Yule Scepter.
That's coming.
Maybe was looking for the spear angle instead.
Could have set it up with that Yules, but Bob left to live another day, who finally finishes off that Bloodstone. But while he just gets to that Bloodstone, it's a Lycan like we've said, Necro 3, Bloodthorn, AC has an Aegis to work with. Gabbi's got so much, and he's closing in on level 20. The experience lead for TNC is quite hefty as well. Yeah, just about as much as the net worth. 13k experience lead.
Being scouted by the Wolves. Mars is ready to go in.
Blank Yules, that sets up the spear with the arena. They've got the Orchid coming through. No chance for Bob to survive. Another kill here for TNC. Just working Vice around the entire
Radiant's
map.
bottom tower is under attack.
This is a
Radiant are scanning.
very tough game for Vice. I don't think it's completely out of their hands if they defend the high ground somehow, get a perfect fight.
If somehow, not sure how, they can drag this game for, let's say, another 20, 25 minutes.
Okay.
It's a possibility. You know, Riki
Dire's middle
will
tower
scale.
is
He's
under
about
attack.
to finish his Aghanim Scepter. So that's a big
Dire's
item.
structures are
Still
fortified.
feels very hard for them to just join a fight. The problem that they have with this lineup is no real tank. Nature's Prophet with the mech, it tanks them up a bit, but still, you know, it's not a Centaur, it's not a Mars, it's still a Nature's Prophet.
Actually holding on to 3k gold. He's got that Orchid.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Decently farmed, going for a tier 1 over mid, also cutting these creeps. Trying to secure a tower. Ooh, 27 health.
Radiant's middle tower
Tower goes
has
down,
fallen.
Enryu.
Riki, dusted. Oh, misses, barely. Whew, Tim's very close. That would have been such a big kill on Riki, who would not have a buyback.
Yeah, short 700 gold from that buyback, but now has the Battle Fury Axe. It's looking like it's not enough,
Dire's bottom tower is under
but
attack.
maybe it's enough to hold Octarine core for the Void Spirit. Void Spirit's build, Yules, Deso, Octarine. I like it.
It's, you know, it's good. It's expensive, but lowering the cooldowns on your abilities is gonna feel good. The cast range is nice. I think we're gonna see much more of a Nocturne core being built up, because now you make it from the Ether Lens, which is a big and nice
Dire's
upgrade in
bottom
my
tower
opinion.
is under attack.
One of the items actually like that got picked up. Febby now has an Aeon Disc, so he doesn't have to use the False Promise to save himself. Aeon Disc will keep
Pay
him
attention.
alive.
Look what Gabbi is doing. He has Necro 3 and he has Dust. So this is how professional players actually win the
Radiant's
game.
top tower is under
Like
attack.
he wants to be able to, you know, have himself
Radiant's
covered in
top
case,
tower
let's
has
see,
fallen.
Riki kills his
Dire's bottom tower is
Necro
under
unit
attack.
that has a true sight.
Jump in from Armel, almost catching that Riki.
Void Spirit holding on to 2 Dusts. So that is not just for the supports. Most of the time,
Radiant's middle
that
tower
item
is
is
under
meant
attack.
to be used by the guy that goes in, the frontliners. So the next time, guys, you try to blame someone, blame your
Radiant
supports that
structures
are
are
not
fortified.
carrying the dust, first think, should I be the one carrying the dust?
Point I hear often.
Yeah, I'm
in my
just trying
games.
to make this community a more friendly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Especially as an ancient apparition, I feel like I'm never close enough.
Yeah, it's just not. You can hold one for sure, you know, but most of the time you are the target that they want to take out first, and you're not gonna be able to use it.
Hopefully the people I play with hear that. They won't though. Psychic Headband found by the Riki. He's got an Orb of Destruction right now. He's just trying to get there closer on farm. He's keeping up with the Void Spirit, but it's just Gabbi
Radiant's
who's
top
got
tower
so
is
much
under
farm.
attack.
Finishing the Basher, going to the Abyssal. He's been unkillable and unstoppable. 12-0 and 7.
Considering the situation they're in right now, Vice is doing a good job getting the, let's say, most out of the map. They need to risk a bit more, where Nature's Prophet should try to split push, possibly die, and then, you know, Riki gets the farm, gets the levels. It's all about delaying the game as much as you can. Try to get those BKBs up. I see one being built by Riki, one by Storm Spirit, Nature's Prophet.
Going
What is he
Axe.
going for? Aghanim Scepter.
Do you like that? He's got the Axe shard already, but now going for the Axe Arena down. Clockwerk Clockwerk in trouble. Astral step, and he's right on the edge of the arena. Palos goes forward for a second. Risky maneuver as he's being dusted up. He's silenced and dead. Palos taken out so quickly, and then the clock will follow as he gets walrus punched and knocked out of the game.
Right, should just try to avoid team fights because they can't take those, especially the ones outside of base. So you see one guy dying, you just bail. That's pretty much the plan for the next 15 minutes if this game's gonna drag that long.
Radiant's top tower.
You talk about Nature's Prophet having that Sprout upgraded with the shard. It's okay, you know, they can't get out because it spawns a greater treant. You can only have 2. Aghanim Scepter's okay, because it lowers the cooldown on Wrath of Nature, and then you can use it more often to outpush the lanes.
Back up in 2 minutes, a significantly long one. We'll see if TNC are waiting for that. I think 2 minutes gives a decent amount of time.
Dire's
Especially
middle tower
Enryu, who's
is under
100 gold away from finishing that Ags. Enough time for Storm to get close enough to be KB.
Bloodthorn, double damage on Void Crit plus a death, so like you're having minus armor with the Clockwerk.
Dire's middle
Astral step, Enryu in trouble. Hit with the Aether Remnant, ball lightning back and forth. He's finished the Ags, so Ags and Ags shard for the Nature's Prophet. Not sure if that's going to be enough, though. And Lycan just a couple hundred away from finishing off the Abyssal.
It's tough. Lycan is super farmed. He has 10,000 more net worth than Riki.
So farmed.
Usually what you want to do with the first Roche is just build the advantage. You don't necessarily need to go in and end the game, and the faster you kill it, the second one faster is going to spawn. So the second one is the one to go in with and try to end it.
Tim's trying to clean up top as Enryu is pushing forward with some treants. Just another 30 seconds till they get Roche. We saw how quickly they were able to take it out the first time too. I expect more of the same.
Right now they're in a situation where you know the Roshan goes down too quickly and you can't contest it because you have no team fight. So you're like, somehow it would want to have it try to contest the Roche, but I think it's possible. Clockwerk, he bought back in the previous fight, and now he's gone.
Burn getting the kill. Gabbi goes into that ulti form. Now with the blink forward as well as the arena down. Enryu in trouble. The Abyssal Blade stops the TP. He's in for a really big disaster.
You wanted to say trouble, but he's already in the coffin.
Yeah. Step in, nails are being punched forward.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
It is just when you're getting dove under your tier 4 towers as freely as TNC are making the moves, it certainly feels pretty bad.
You have no counterplay. They initiate on you. You have like no Lotus Orb, no Force Staffs. It's very hard to play. Everyone's going for greedy items, Keeper of the Light from one Aghanim Scepter to be able to have Will-O-Wisp. Can connect inside the pit.
He's almost got it, and they're gonna smoke for this. I'm a little surprised. 3v5, this is a tough one to try and get. We've got the sentry down, and now you dusted up the Riki. They're trying to get the kill on the KP. Pocket Riki to help get away. Fortune Gen thrown under the storm. They'll find themselves the Coddle, who has no gold for buyback.
He just bought that Aghanim Scepter sitting outside the base. I said you would want to contest the Roche, but you don't have the tools to do that. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet is in the base.
We're gonna get the tier 3. They're ratting a little bit. They're about to break the high ground, and nobody's coming back. It finally gets pinged, but nobody's there.
Tears of my delight.
This is the type of game that they should try to play. You know, they're 20k gold down. Once again, delay as much as possible. You do not have any kind of team fight ability, so it's gonna be really hard.
Oh, Riki
has a BKB.
Yeah, use the BKB coming through. He's able to blink strike away, but the three heroes are locked in via the arena. And now they get Samael. They're going to look over at Palos. He's trying to get away. Enryu dead again. Two heroes gone, making a third as Palos drops. They'll look even further inside the base. Zenki, he's the fourth to die, and just the storm is alive. Ball lightning with the vortex. But they've got the false promise on TNC. Can't even get the kill onto this Tusk. He looks over at KP as they'll finish off the melee racks
Dyer's
mid.
middle barracks
Do they
have
stay for more?
Dyer's
Four
bottom
heroes
barracks
dead. There is your answer, B-Cup.
It's the AM just to pop on Febby.
Dyer's bottom tower has fallen.
2-3. These heroes respawning soon for the Clockwerk back up. Ball lightning back and forth. Snowball coming through.
Dyer's
Can't
bottom
blame
The
barracks
rack's bottom gone.
You know, they want one more fight when everybody is out. See how that one's gonna go. I mean, we know how it's gonna go, but you have to pray and believe something can happen.
1
15
last
seconds without Riki. Yeah, you can see this network graph. It's not looking good. They
Dyer's
were
top
never
tower
ahead of this team.
Arena down and just behind the pit. They get the kill on Zenki. They look over at Enryu with BKB pop by Mars. Bob going back and forth. The Will-O-Wisp is down. Hook shot in onto this Oracle. They get the kill on Enryu. Two are gone. Finally, they just take Febby's life, but I'm not certain that'll be enough. KP's now dead. Abyssal Blade used on the Riki. Palos getting low. He's just escaped for the moment. And now they hit on the first hit bash onto the Clockwerk. Palos finally dead, and just the storm is alive. Vice, they'll call GG.
Yeah, tough one for Weiss. You know, they tried with the lineup like this against the Lycan lineup. It's a hard one. You do not have anyone to match up, stand his ground, you know, just man up against the